get out somehow. If we have to climb, fly, or use a rope, we must get out somehow. We must take the blindfold from our eyes so we can see the way. We've been too long down in the valley. We must get out right now. We don't need no more false teachings, no more false preachings. We must know that nature is the source of life. Oh, there's no heaven, there's no hell, there's no heaven in the sky. Those are the things that's holding us down. We've gotta stand up for the right. We've gotta live upright. We've gotta move up to the top. We must keep on going. We must never stop. We've been too long in the wilderness, and we can't find a way. We've been used, abused, and refused by the slave master's whip. They took our diamonds and our resources. Oh yes, they took everything. Now we've got to struggle to support our children while their generations have it all. We've got to stand up for the right. We've got to live upright. We've got to move up to the top. We must keep on going. We must never stop. We must never stop. We must never stop. We must never stop. Rise up, African children. We've been too long down in the valley. We must get out somehow. If we have to climb, fly, or use a rope, we must get out somehow. We must take the blindfold from our eyes so we can see the way. We've been too long down in the valley. We must get out right now. We don't need no more false teachings, no more false preachings. We must know that nature is the source of life. Oh, there's no heaven, there's no hell, there's no heaven in the sky. Those are the things that's holding us down. We've gotta stand up for the right. We've gotta live upright. We've gotta move up to the top. We must keep on going. We must never stop. We've gotta stand up for the right. We've gotta live upright. We've gotta move up to the top. We must keep on going. We must never stop. 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 Save African children, save African children. We are. Hey, how comes every one of a piece of Africa when Africa belongs to the Africans? How comes every one of a piece of Africa when France belongs to the Frenchmen? The British, they have a piece of Africa. The Germans have a piece of Africa. French, they have a piece of Africa. Hey, the Portuguese have a piece of Africa. The Italians, they have a piece of Africa. The Dutch, they have a piece of Africa. Mama Africa, I feel it for you.
I feel it for you.
Everybody take a piece, and no one's giving nothing back to you. And now that you're in need, they all turn their backs on you. I know that Mama Africa, you will pull through. I say, how comes everyone have a piece of Africa when Africa belongs to the Africans? How comes everyone have a piece of Africa when France belongs to the Frenchmen? The Germans have a piece
of Africa.
British, they have a piece
of Africa.
The Dutch, they have a piece of Africa.
Piece of Africa.
Hey, Portuguese have a piece
of Africa.
Italians, they have a piece
of Africa.
French, they have a piece of Africa.
Piece of Africa.
It was down in Germany, they made their plans that they're going down in Africa to take as much as they can. They were welcomed by the loving Africans, but they went with evil minds and bad intentions. Save African children, save African children. Now African children need medication and they need vaccination, and there's no one coming forward to help the situation. Mr. Man, when you're in your mansion, watching your television, and you see African children crying, how do you feel? Mr. Man, when you're eating with your family, and you see African children crying with their hungry belly, how do you feel? Mr. Man, when you're in your mansion, watching your television, and you see African children crying, how do you feel, Mr. Man? When you're eating with your family, and you see African children crying with their hungry bellies, how do you feel? I know we started, I know we started, I know we started,
No,
I know we started, bad minding, I know we started, red eye thing, I know we who started, grudgeful thing, I know we started, but them blame we for everything. Bad minding, I know we started, red eye thing, I know we who started, grudgeful thing, I know we started, but them blame we for everything. We used to live up in our peace and tranquility until they invade we. Oh yes, them come like wolf in our sheep clothing, and they stole everything. Until today them a reap, them a go on like a hard-work wheat. Or for parents them blood bleed. I can't believe what them do to me. But my thing I know we started, red eye thing I know we who started, grudgeful thing I know we started, but them blame we for everything. But my thing I know we started, red eye thing I know we who started, grudgeful thing I know we started, but them blame we for everything. While we were civil and I give praise, they were living in dark age, fighting and killing each other for material things and power. We had no army, we had no ammunition, we had a peaceful land. So when they finally came, they came with weapons of destruction. Same thing them with from a long time ago, and the same thing them I grab with now. They cause destabilization conversation among the people and their leaders. And then they step in and pretend to solve the problem. But my thing I know we started. Red eye thing I know we who started. Grudgeful thing I know we started. But them blame me for everything. But my thing I know we started. Red eye thing I know we who started. Grudgeful thing I know we started. But them blame me for everything. Peace and tranquility until they invade me. Oh yes, them come like wolf in a sheep clothing, and they stole everything. Until today them a reap, them a go like a hard work beat. Oh, for parents them blood bleed. Can't believe what they do to me. But my thing I know we started. Red eye thing I know we who started. Grudgeful thing I know we started. But them blame we for everything. But my thing I know we started. Red eye thing I know we started. Grudgeful thing I know we started. But them blame we for everything. I know we started. No, 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 no. I know we started. But them I blame we.
Some for the people to unite.
set us free. Da 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 da. They didn't tell us no. They didn't tell us about Nocturna. They didn't tell us about Emotep. They didn't tell us about Bazinga. They didn't tell us about Muhammad. They didn't tell us about Omar Futi. They fight their way out of slavery. We must honor them. We must honor them. Life begun down in Egypt. Down there in Kemet, our ancestors laid the foundation so that we could benefit from it. Everything was documented on the walls, carved in stones for us to see. And the pirates, they stole it and changed our history. They changed our culture and they changed our names. They changed our story and our language too. They didn't tell us no, 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 no. They didn't tell us no, no, no. They didn't tell us no, 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 no. They took our foreparents out of Africa to build their economy. They never paid them, they never paid them for it. They never paid them for it. They didn't give them no credibility. Made them out to be some fools when they know deep down that they're the ones who made the way for them to go through. They didn't tell us about Nocturna. They didn't tell us about Emotep. They didn't tell us about Bazinga. They didn't tell us about Muhammad. They didn't tell us about Omar Futi. They fight their way out of slavery. We must honor them. Yes. We must honor them. The D-Bears down in South Africa selling our precious stones, while the so-called Jews said that the pyramid is a Jewish heritage. Emotep, he is an African master builder for the pyramid. How can it be a Jewish heritage when in fact it's an African legacy? Then the members say we created mathematics. Then the members say we started Christianity. Then the members say I will make medicine. Then the members say we were the first physicians. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. They didn't tell us no, 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 no. They didn't tell us about Nocturna. They didn't tell us about Emotep. They didn't tell us about Bazinga. They didn't tell us about Muhammad. They didn't tell us about Omar Futi. They fight their way out of slavery. We must honor them. 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 We
Yes.
must honor them.
Greetings, things and times stay with you. We must honor them at you each time. Man called Junior English. Yeah. Not English, but in English. Yeah, people. It seems that no matter what we do, how we do what we do, whenever there's a problem. And I'm always banging on the road that until we have that situation where it's institutionalized and we say never, never again, like others, and mind our own business, our circumstances in relation to how we are accepted as human beings on this earth that belongs to the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing for us will change. And that may sound cynical to some people, you know. And them some people is our people. They are Rufuses, they are roast breadfruit, they are coconuts. They're denying realities. Not reality, realities. They're denying it. And there's nothing wrong with a person who gets satisfaction in certain activities or certain pursuits. But if that's to be the expense of their culture, their morals, their ethical standing as a human being, and their racial credence and cultural modality, and the fact that they're viewed less than human. But because me get this job, I get this position, and the stereotype is that me have a whole heap of friend. That's not it. That's your self-preservation or yourself. It's not the wider. It's not what is real. It's not what is real. Because what is real is unacceptable. But the people who live in their little cocoon shell, and they're the ones that always speaks for us. Most of the time, and they deny us also. Because they're trying to say that these things haven't come on their doorstep. But they also neglect and reject what the reality is showing them. You know what I mean? My everything's all right, you see? And then, you know, and the other ones, them that live in Atlanta, and the ones that live upstate in Chicago. You see? Why is the brutality, the racism, the hatred, the murders, the inhumane treatment for a country that tells other people what to do, how not what to do, and that them a control everything. And them judge from afar other people human rights. And then them tell the Muslims that we begrudge them of freedom. And them tell their people that they should not let the Muslims them hinder their freedom, because that's what's wrong with us. We are jealous and hate the freedoms that they have. And the world keeps hearing that. They've been hearing that before the towers. So it makes people, them, even our young people, them feel so that Muslims begrudge the West of freedoms. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, through the Prophet of Al-Islam, carefully display what freedoms should be for human beings, not just for Muslims, for every human beings. And our father, Abraham alayhi salam, and his fathers, and his children, and Moses, and everyone who, if you even religious, that's what they exemplified. Not Rome. No, Rome. Rome was trying to eliminate Christ. Again, Rome was trying to eliminate Christ. And this is what we black people have to try to do. Escape them. Because Christ escaped them. Rome was trying to eliminate him. I'm tying it all, and those of you who are wise, pay attention, you understand, because that was a hatred. And a hatred of God. Not the man Christ. The hatred of God. Them no want to work with a God thing. Them felt so that they were God on, they should be God on earth. And everything that was supposed to be happening is supposed to go through them. No, come up to us. The British, along with other Europeans, saw us as savages. They never see us as rightly human beings. Them say that we're offspring of some apes. They said these things. They printed these things. They written these things. They institutionalized these things. They speak those things. How the hell do we think that their children and their ancestors and their predecessors, why do they still behave? Why do they behave like this? Because those things were not eradicated. They were not burnt. They were not removed. So it's still there. It's prevalent. It's prevalent to many of them. And they create frenzies among other people, some of those people, and get them to think the way they do and act out the way they're being thinking and what things are being projected to them. This is not humans. These are people who are teaching. They're teaching these people what we are recognizing and have been recognizing now for millenniums. And we black people, educated, and those of us who have weakness because we are alive, we haven't done anything about it. We join forces that have not a damn thing to do with us, and they get the benefit out of race relation here in England. And then for their own preferences, them jump on our bandwagon and we sit with them and they move on and we're still in the same place. What's that place? We're victims in society whenever any individuals that don't look like us feel that they need to use their forces and put us back in check. That's what happens. That's what happens. And until the institutions and governments remove those literature, those so-called research literature that deem African people that less than human beings, and we are the behest of animals, apes. Our situation not change on this earth. It will not. Because every time we come to want to say something like me now, we join groups of people who are the same people to figure out what it is to be done, and we're telling them constantly, this is how you hit me, you know. This is how it feels. And after all, mate, I'm playing football for you. And I do run the fastest for you. I do entertain you. You know what I mean? Let's be friends. And they don't mind being a friend for a moment in time. They don't. And we get off thinking, yeah, all is well. We're going to break the world record at every goddamn thing. All right, Harry? We break the record. All right, Harry? We knock him out. All right, Harry? We jump. All right, Harry? We sing. Oh, he's number one. All right? And listen, we're ignorant people. We are. Because it's better we say we don't know what to do. And then emotions don't help none. Because they've already got that base covered. When we react, them say, see, I told you. Look at them. If we stay quiet, they say, yeah, we like those ones. So all we need to do is just take our loved ones, take our people, and just go bury them, just like rat, cat, dog, puss, and just, yeah, and move on. And just remember that anytime we see such people, we either turn back or cross the road or stand still. I mean, we are share the planet. We are share the earth. We've been dashed into slavery. We've been ill-treated. What is the real history of us and relations on this planet? What do I tell my children? And what does any of us tell our children? Oh, to be fast like Bolt. You know, Bolt probably had a understanding or told the story of Jesse Owens, you know what I mean? So that's why we've got that. Is that it? You know, the Temptations and the Supremes, and we could sing. We sing nice. Oh, yeah, we can dance. Yeah, we were great inventors. Oh, the pyramids, yeah. But they're telling our children that the pyramids were built by extraterrestrial beings. And they're telling them at the same time that Europeans are the ones that are responsible. Look at the images they're portraying. Look at the Googles. Look at all these internet things. You see that. This hate, this dislike of African people, what is it really about? Take the average child like me. All we get to understand is slavery. And all the history that they want to depict to us is from slavery. That's not history. That's brutality. And if any history is in there, it's of a history of the people who captured us. It's from the history of the people them who did barbaric things to us and continue to do so. And to do the same thing on the continent. So that's that history. But what was I before you? I've never read anything where an African said that didn't discover white people, European people. It's a strange thing, isn't it? I've constantly see that European people always said, oh, them discover we. But what was the fascination of discovering us that you needed and felt it was necessary to capture some of us, when your own history show that were many of us in Europe? So the picture that you constantly paint, because there's some fear you've got about black people, African people. And that's why we have to deal with institution and remove the ills that's there and vet the curriculums and the teachers that comes into your institution that teach this dislikes of Africans. It not just happened yesterday, man. It's no point me say supremacy is something that's embedded in you all and it's still there. You all have access to that which your foreparents, your forefathers and mothers written, and how you used to put us in what you call zoos today and have a field day and you're just your lustful stupid appetite and watch us. How you humiliated us. So it was easy for that man to do the same thing because him not deal with a human being. Listen, you have good law for dog. And we like dog. We're not against dog. But you treat dog very well and you mistreat and ill-treat us. So we have to draw a reference. A serious reference. So now let me scramble up again. The man who said that we come from animal, did you all have a good look at him? Did you all have a good look at him sketch? Did you have a good look at him head or its proportion? And him add the validity and listen, the man said that's where we come from. Now, in saying that, what were you all projecting that if we come from the animal, where did you all come from? You see, this is where Africans are foolish because we're supposed to derive from animal, and the European them supposed to come from God. We came from animal, the lowest of the creation. Really? But yet still, them come from other than from where we come from, because we come through this evolutionary change of these animals that bust out and look similar to them, but dissimilar from them. But them, they are grace from God. So, what may I put to those who are listening and go tell for them friend? Can't you see we are foolish when we follow what they have constructed? Because them have us lesser than the dog, because them give dog more rights than us. And yet still the thing that them constructed that make them an image and make them God with us, because them is it. Because Christ look like them, and Christ is the Son of God, and God in 1 and 2 and 3 and all of that stuff. And we give so much to that. We give so much to it, and we live with it. So that's why when the man tried this thing and brutalize and kill us wholesale as civilians on the street, not behind our back, and God knows what happens in prisons, what happened behind closed doors. Hey, the Almighty only knows what happens behind closed doors, because if this is what we see happening in a modern day with cameras, etc., etc., and those who did not believe or thought, nah, when I dramatize that when I used to get roasted and hang and all kind of thing, all through a life expectancy in the US of A and cross South America. And then you say, boy, that's several 100 years ago it done, you know. Nah. How can a people live in fear like this in the first world, superpower? And that people need to be asking and say, hold on. But the man them that talk don't have balls. The man them that push up them chests and always telling people that them know what will take place, when it going to take place, and out of position. That's a failure. A total failure. Those of you who can follow with me, I try to say, and realize that we recognize and saw Rodney King. We saw officers, and let's put it this way, it could have been a Hollywood thing, but we saw people dressed in uniform. We saw people them had instrument that is used by servants for the nation of institution called police officers. So whether it's Hollywood or not, we saw that. We saw the uniforms, we saw the resources that these people regularly use, and we affiliated those things to such people. But what we also saw was some inhumane behaviors and attitude by people who are meant to represent law, to support the citizens, defend the citizens and represent the citizens, and be there as referees when the citizens are in some disarray. So there's some social and civilian etiquette. What we saw was officers who are from such institution and to be respected because they have a right within society that we all agree to. We saw those officers expressing, demonstrating force beyond their natural duties. What was more hurtful was not the person looked like us as an African man. It was that there were so many exercising brute force and all the training that all of us know, but we didn't participate in any training, but we know what people who represent that structure, and once they're dressed in uniform, how they're meant to be how they're meant to conduct themselves, and now we the citizens needs also to conduct ourselves. If there was verbal exchanges as civilians in society also regulates and expects, this was brutal force that was demonstrated by several individuals and one person. And to show you how humane we are and tolerant, there were people present, but due to the fear, I assume, of them getting shot, because this is America we're speaking, all they did was raise their voices. But it didn't have no bearing on the ill treatment that Rodney King received. We just used Rodney King because out of that came reprisals. But those reprisals were some damaging, serious reprisals for the African Caribbean, African American people all across the state, but all across, and particularly New York, because we got a mayor that decided, we're going to make them pay for this. Now he's up there now, part of the new president's party. Regime, regime. You call everybody a regime. You are a regime. Huh? He's in that circle. That same man, that same mayor. And that mayor that was invited to England to tell the British Parliament and the government of the day how he became successful, what tools, what strategies he used to become successful in corralling and quarantining black people. See, some of us forget these things. Some of us just got our heads up our asses and everything else. You go down the city, you know what I mean? Like, mate, you want some money, you damn fools, and then you want to jump up a carnival at the same time. You understand? So I'm going to throw my bullocks. So that man was invited here. He was invited here. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. So fast forward. We had the similar something that the social state also engineered along with the feelings of the people here in North London when Mark Duggan was taken out. It was socially engineered because so many things happen, and it only allowed the law enforcement to examine the liability if they did not put certain systems in place. What could happen with an integrated force of young people going against them? I saw me take it. Because whoever engineered the whole thing was watching it. And those of you who were available, you saw that the law enforcement just watched. They watched it. Everywhere it happened, they watched what was happening. They stood and watched. Days later, they responded. People who were living in council, statutory, government, local government homes were evicted. People who were drawing Social Security, employment benefits, and so forth were stopped. Those things, the plug were pulled. Around many boroughs, there are people who have suffered from that time to this time because they were council tenants and they relied on income support and they relied on job seekers allowances and everything. Them thing Cameron seized them because you had the audacity to fight against the system, demonstrate against the system, violate rules of the system. Who the hell you lot think you are? That's what happened. Can't tell me we're wrong. Me know that. That's what happened. And him announced it. Soon as him come back from holiday, I will deal with this. We will deal with this. And that's what he did. That's what is conservative government did. But people are forgetting what Enoch Powell was saying on the behalf of the same conservative. So they always keep an eye to say, hold on a minute, we've got to prohibit such and such. That's why I said people need to listen to the whole of his speeches, not that one speech, you know. It ties into what happened with Windrush and all other things because they were forewarned. And it wasn't Enoch Powell, you know. He is the one who brought the message. He's not the forebearer of the message. Believe you me. Anyhow, all of this have to do with how we have been and continue to be ill-treated. Has nothing to do with mainly just America. This happens in the Caribbean. This happens everywhere we are. This happens here. It's just that we're not being shot here. See? God help us if the police is granted the use of guns on a regular basis. We did wholesale. Because you see, when it's just an infringement, them change it that I suffocated because I had chewing gum, or I strangled on my own vomit, or something. Some stupid English is being used. And it's not stupid, It's just that them put it there, and the legal system entertains it and abide by it. And we don't have no legal set of people to say, no, nothing go like that. With proper decorum, proper Queen's language. And even if we do, we still don't have the investigative powers and strategy to put them in check. Because that's what you need. We needing to be doing. So his worship turns around and rule. The coroner rule in favor of the police services. Bearing in mind that the police services are investigating themselves with a few coconuts like me, supposed to be watching what was going on. Because I'm not trained, I'm not qualified. I don't know how to present myself in that environment. But I'm there, nevertheless. An eyepiece, an earpiece, and me don't have a mouth no more. Because when I come now, I can't come back to Uno. I'm not supposed to and say, here what happened, right? Because the job that I just got, I won't be having anymore. Because you know what I mean? I depend on that job. And if I go against Guana, I'm losing that. That's where the Rufus is coming. I'm losing out because, I don't trust myself, and I just don't trust my capabilities anymore because, I need to eat just like everybody else, and all that's understandable. But we're meant to be dealing with justice. And whilst we're trying to deal with justice, we just don't seem to understand that we're being seen not to be human. We're savages. So until we sort that savages thing out and we fight for respect as human beings, and we change the statute books and let all those books and all the literature that depicted us as less than human beings, that's removed from the face of this earth, our plight will not change. The Askanaki says to everybody, and take you to court, claiming that you're anti-Semitic, claiming that you denounce what happened or what alleged to have happened in Germany. So, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Sovereignty is what the G7 and all of them push up them chests and hold high in the world. Sovereignty. Africa belongs to the Commonwealth. Africa, independent, stop that. Is a non-sovereign nation. And that Mugabe I try to say, long time, but nobody don't want to pay attention to him. And Gaddafi, nobody want to pay attention. And me I say it too, nobody want to pay attention. Independent without sovereignty. Which independent? No independent. Independent belonging to a Commonwealth, neo-colonial system. You go to any institution in Africa, they all dress up like England. They all dress up like England. Wig, this, that. Your lordship, here, and so forth. The Marcus says. Foolish people. That's why we are disrespected. Still, at every level. Forget all about the pyramids, man. Forget all about that. We're dishonored. We're dishonored. We're disrespected. When are we going to learn? When we witness, we'll get old, come out of this pandemic and witness all of our children being corralled somewhere and slaughtered, and then we say, oh my God, I should have, I'm so feeble now. I'm telling you, when are we going to wake up? Many of us like me can't represent for the children. We can talk to them, but we can't physically stand up with them and say, listen, we now move. Because we're not that like both. We're not that physical anymore. We're not dominant males anymore. All we got is loud mouth. And if our children them don't have proper understanding, them guy we act foolishly and die fast or finish up, lock up somewhere. Yeah, there's a lot of people, you know. And what them just call solitary confinement, you don't see them again. You don't hear nothing about them again. You see all the thing that happens here, we don't know what happened to the prisoners here. Neither does Farrakhan and anybody tell you what happened to the prisoners them in America. And you know, sir, millions of people, black people, you know, and Hispanics, people of color, millions of them in a jail houses, lockdowns over there. So what the pandemic will do to them? And if you take the argument now that people who's in care services, the elderly people, them are die like quicksand and they don't go nowhere. So how did the pandemic get inside of the care places, homes that they're in? And then you can feature people them who is in prisons. How many of them getting dead? How many of them, we're not talking about tested, how many of them have lost their lives? Come on. Why is this thing is going on? We think that people become very, very humane. And this despicable thing will happen. Where is God and where are these churches, where are these things that them portray to us and entrap us in? Because it got to be an entrapment. All these things that they've taught us. One to the span bangle that them get vexed with the brother say him don't see the validity of it, so him not stand up for it no more. We've been hurt. Not yesterday, not last week. For years. My lifetime, 76, 72 years, 73. We've been hurt. We are let our parents them go to them grave. And we are sing all of those hymn songs. The same people who capture their parents, we sing for them hymn songs. Like jackass, mules and fools. So the people them look upon we as dumb. Them know say that them have we. Them have we physically, them have we mentally, them have we. Them know say we are damn fools. So what do you do with a fool? Do what you want with them. Them can't do nothing. They won't do nothing. People them have camera, phone, everything. And they must stand up there take picture. Yeah. But how much people go take picture? And nobody put them life on the line and said, no. You have to beat me up too. You have to shoot me too. Them not doing that. So you see, our education about us is not one that has real great significant values to it. These jackass boy, them a talk about Kemet, this, that, and don't put no validity in the spine of the people them, and just make the people them know so that we have to come together, understand one another, and do things right and proper. You can't do wrong and expect right. You can't walk on the wrong side of the road and want goodness on that same side of the road. So when you're right, God is with you, and when you're right, your people is with you. That's it. We don't have that. We don't have that. So them people are standing there and watch. They're also thinking, I wonder what him do. They would love to help, but them can't help because them not sure. Let me tell you, man, me I talk spiritually now. What you mean? The people them can see are wrong. Them feelings show you that is a wrong. They want to do something. But them say, you know what, we don't know him. For all we know, him they try rob somebody or something. So that hesitation and that thought, because we are spiritual people, we're God-fearing people. So now we digest all of these things. The brain calculate the thing. We'll watch the people them and we'll say, boy, if we get involved now, we probably get killed, probably get arrested, right? And you want to do, and you're damn not to do. So that's what happens. That's what's been happening. So it's been happening. My grandfather, my father, my uncles, no, they're not standing for that. But guess what? They can swear for me. You hear that word there? They can swear for me. First and foremost, they're not going to accept any form of brutality, hostility. But they will put them life on the line because they can swear for me. Them can swear me not thief nobody, nothing, me not sell no dope, me not pimp no woman. Them can swear. What has this got to do with something? I'm saying the people them that stand there and watch and then intervene and say, listen, nah, you have to kill me too. You have to kill us all. You can't do him so. I'm glad I was able to come up and live in an area that had people that shaped my well-being like that. And that man, along with Herman, Courtney Tullock, Michael X, and all other people, them, may I forgive thanks to them. May I tell you, they weren't shubby people. They weren't pimp-minded people. They were people them who thought for the best of us for tomorrow, and thank God I am here today. You understand? Enough of us, not just me, enough of us. Stay in the right path. Know who you are. Honor your parents. Respect your ancestors, your grandparents, and your family. You understand? Because anytime we shout, we not say wolf, and make joke. No. We said, daddy, uncle, such and such happened, and this is what them did to us. Really? Come. Have you got the number? Yes. Come. You understand? And a court, we are go court. Then I go to the station. If it's police, then I go to the station. If it's first it was school, then just deal with that. Them deal with the school, them deal with the teacher, them deal with the headmasters. You understand? And get a resolution. Nothing, don't worry, Mr. Such and such, we will take care. No. My parents, my family's not into that. We'll take care of it. No. You deal with it right now, we're here. Right now we're here. Clear that grass wicket. You understand? So I was brought up. Can't change, won't change. What for? Love my family. So I'm saying all of that to say, well, I don't understand why we always behave like, say, we're big and broad and we're nothing. We now represent. And we have the technologies, and all we do it is to make. It's good that we have somebody that can show what was actually happening. But what I'm to intervene in and say, hold on, no, this is brutality. So you get licked, and you go to court, and you tell them the reason that I am here is because I try to save the life or the injuries to such and such a person, to whom I don't know. But his human rights were being violated. Our human rights were being violated. Ours as citizens, ours as human beings, not ours as black people. Because you have to make the people understand that are them who's racist. Them have an illness. And we have the penicillin for that illness. Love. Universal love. So me can't love somebody that hate me. Are you mad? And that's what they've taught us to do. Theological education. They've taught us to do that. That's why me ban on that. And, you know, I hear people talk me I talk. Not that me are exclusive, you know. But them have them head up someone else's ass and they're looking for something and they feel that they're more important playing that role than to deal with the truth. What is the truth? The thing that we witness. What we witness is the truth. So help me God, is the truth. Not fabrications. Rodney King was a fabrication? No. And many others we've seen with a fabrication, no. And around the Charles with a fabrication, no. What happened? The families is in pain. The mothers have not recovered up to this day. Sir Collins and all these other people and the New Cross disaster and everything. What is being resolved? The Brixton tragedy down there, so the riot, the Tottenham, all these things that we've had. What resolved? What has been resolved? You know what's been resolved that I know about? People them who was doing trying to study a faction of social science, youth and community, race relation, social work, were asked to write essays based on things that happened there, based on the Scarman report, the validity of all of that. And that's where a lot of us sold our people them down the rivers, sold our alleged communities down the rivers, just to get a degree. Yeah. And they got the degree, many. And they still ain't helped no one to date. Like I said, I know who they are, they know who they are, many of them. Some became directors and so forth for all sorts of different projects, programs, government institutions, things, you know, statutory employees, etc., etc. These are the failures. America, you have Farrakhan, you have Jesse Jackson, you have Al Sharpton now, and a whole list, because just them, that's age, there's a whole heap of young ones behind them too. So, what is going to be the turning point? The man said, when we trigger them off, they're going to make noise. If we send one of our agitators in there and we have our thing set up, them going to start, try to loot and run about the place, we arrest them. If we shoot one or two, the rest of them will flee. But we have to prepare ourselves because they may set some cars and this and that and other things on fire. So we limit the amount of carnage. But tell me, who do you think is the hot gossip among them? So once them get to know that them just dry you in or put you up there on CNN or Fox or somebody and you say two words and the people them just say okay, and that meant to diffuse something. If it started already, that's meant to limit where it's supposed to go. Rufus is. Malcolm said, go to the United Nations, look for a human rights tabling. That not happen. That never happened. Garvey said, don't wait till your back is against the wall and everything to know who you are. That hasn't happened. Just keep talking. At least no one is talking Malcolm and say what Malcolm said. That Malcolm's, but they're always saying that they love him. But at the same time, Farrakhan taught you all to call him a hypocrite. So how do you really love a hypocrite? Which he isn't, he wasn't, but he's been depicted. All of these things tie into the fact that we are our worst enemy. And that's why those who ill-treat us can continue to do that, because we just don't share love, honor, respect, and dignity to ourselves. I tell you, listen some. Listen some. Listen good enough.
Traveling down life's lonely road, I go, bearing my heavy, heavy load. Hey, is there a place to lay our weary head? No heart is willing, flesh is weak. Well, the heart is willing, the flesh is weak. All through my life,
Teasing time, seeing? We always on the time. And we full of lyrics. And we not play gimmicks. Because we live. You understand? We live. And I'm sure that we have lived good. See? Life, long, lonely road. May I tell you, listen. We come out here to teach, not to admire ourselves. Spread the news. Yo, what your name? There was a person who gave me a big up. Hold on, I must call you because you give me a good big up. Roxanne, yes, Roxanne, lovely. Yeah, give thanks. Yeah, share my link, put it out there, and you can call me, you know. Yeah, all right, give thanks. That give me an excuse to try it back, you know. Life, long, lonely road. Yeah, you know something now. You see, some people turn around and say, that man, they're racist, you know. You can't reverse the psychology and the people them who the thing is being practiced against all the time. We're hurt. We're hurt people. See? So when we come this way, we reverse the thing to show how the thing hits. You understand? How it's affecting us. And now we see this ugliness in human beings perpetrated against us. So we can do without it. But it can kill we. So don't bother think, say, yeah, them are racist too. No. And nothing to do with racism on our side. We receive racism. We are victims of that brutality, hypocrisy in a democracy. Yeah, I love that.
traveling down life's lonely road, I go, bearing my heavy, heavy load. Is there a place to lay our weary head? No heart is
I pray thee.
Traveling down life's lonely road I go.
Oh God, acknowledge I.
Heavy load.
I pray thee.
If it's your wish that I should go, just know that I'll gladly go. Traveling down life's lonely road I go. Bearing my heavy, heavy load. Well, is there a place to lay our weary nights? Oh, heart is willing, flesh is weary. Whoa, yeah. Heart is willing, flesh is weary. Well, traveling down life's lonely road. You've got to travel down life's lonely road someday. Traveling down life's lonely road. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Traveling down life's lonely road. When everything you do seems to go wrong. Traveling down life's lonely road. And nowhere is there to be found again. Traveling down life's lonely road. I know. Traveling down life's lonely road. That's why we travel down life's road. Traveling down life's lonely road. Watch out for your phone. Traveling down life's lonely road. Man, a life is useless like on its own. Traveling down life's
You know what them used to do over here? When there used to be some problem where someone get beat up and mash up badly and everything, the people them used to ask for, them say, you need more education. And you know what that brought about? A lot of community projects. You say they want more education. The most distinguished one of us, the ones, not one, ones of us were invited to places like County Hall, places like Home Office, places like Hindon Police Training Academy, and all these other places. Because them say they want more education. You know what it was? Is that we are disseminating to them how we feel and how we understand or configure what they have done. So they can go away now from that. Write a report based on the information that they've received from us. How not to make it visible, the things that we are charging them of. Because they want to know how we recognize it. And after my first 3 years, me understand that. I say, no, star. Me not going to be part and parcel of the Rufuses. No. I'm a weakness. Caribbean representative come and train police how to deal with us. Hey. Yeah, joke. Real talk. Listen, I tell you, man, I go through my gears. Listen, lyrics. And those of you who ever see Icon, don't start your Chinese bashing, you know. Yeah, this is an African Rasta Chinese looking. See? Rest yourselves. Icon, man. Go on, sir. Go on, come.
The evil forces of the night were surrounding me. Moving shadows in the dark
I pray.
were oppressing me. Good God, why you forsaken me? Oh God, where are you? The night was all around. I had no rest. The creeping creatures of the night kept on threatening me. The constant fears of pain and death were down on me. Now the sun is rising and the fears are pulling back. Life is taking over. Hope is back.
I pray thee that the societies to which we walk within can start reflecting peace, harmony among the peoples of the earth, to which I am, that I am, that I am. I'm a man, an African black man. I am that I am, that I am. Understand I am. Without I, you could never be.
The land is bright again. What would I fear? His light shines in my heart. Whom should I fear?
God Almighty.
I am blessed. The Lord puts an end to the night. I am blessed to see the sun rising.
Each day, each day.
I thank you to shine your light.
And all of us, and all of us.
Shall leaves and rain.
Take us out to the misery of darkness, that it overshadows the wickedness. Evil. So we shall rise in the light after darkness. I pray thee. I can. Yeah, man. So we pray. I pray thee. Yeah, man, we want goodness. We can't stand this badness that will continue to inflict upon us constantly. Yeah, that message just now. Yeah, man, the people that come, Brixton, them say, we need education, we need to be re-educated. Tap, then they say, we need education, we need re-educated. You understand? Nottingham, same thing. We need education, re-educated. And we damn fools just sit down there and just tell the people them. Just tell the people them. Hoping, you know, because we're God-fearing people, hoping that would have an effect on their beings. No effect. Now look at this thing, you know. The pandemic come, the people them who depend on athletics, sports, blah, 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 them can't do nothing. See? Ask those same people them to strike for life. Strike for life. Them say, what? Go away. Say, Bo, you what? You're a prestigious man, you know. Stand up now and say, listen, no to racism. And then tell the rest of your colleagues them, your ex-colleagues them, they must strike. Now take place in our international events. Them say, what? You gonna pay me? You see? But what happened to the families them? The family them that hurt, that lost that child. That's us. That's us. 76 years ago, the Palestinians were misused and abused, and they continue to be done so. And then other people come and take a spot and build a nation. Black people, we've been in England and Europe for so long, and we don't have an infrastructure of any sort. And the continent don't have nations of sovereignty of any sort. But somebody who came and raped another set of people and go in there, so them set up a nation. When you look at it, it's a place of admiration. Because they did it. We can discuss and dislike how them got that. But in effect, they did it. The other set of people that did the same thing with the help of democracies is those thieves. Those thieves and ex-pirates in Australia. But when you think, some black people, them talk like them love Australia more than them have any feelings for Africa. And the history that is told is not correct. You see? And all the experiments that took place in Australia using what them call we, Aborigines, in exposure of atom bomb radiation, fallouts of that, and transfigure people, transfigure the features of our families. But you don't know. You can't say what you don't know. See? The joke is always been on us. And we are going to dead out and leave our children them to be mascots. Pastors, get your head out your backside and wake up, man. Wake up. And no, is the Charity Commissioner paying you? You're not preaching to nobody. Oh, them call it media preaching, right? So you still a draw a salary. Hey. We must find out tomorrow if that's how the Muslims, some of them who register with the Charity Commissioner, if that's how they think I work. Because that's what we are seeing now, you know. Many masjid is part of the Charity Commissioner. See it? You understand? Them part of the thing. Yeah, God damn it. But I tell you, talk about exclusivity. Nah. So you see, human beings, you know, we're terrible, terrible people. And you know why we're terrible? Because we know what is right, you know. But we're saying that we want to satisfy just ourselves and we don't care about the next person. And then when a certain situation occurs, we're in the right place now for tell the people and so how much we care about them. See? Lie. Terrible people. Lie. So these are taught behaviors, taught attitude. These are, you know. So once we accept that we all have theological education and everything, and then we diseducate ourselves, you understand? Right? Which means that which we see that we have evolved for ourselves, right? We lean to that, you understand? That's it. And that's what the European people them call us, why them call us rebellious, because there was always a great number of us who just stood and watched, but never respond the way they want us to respond. You understand, right? And our parents, my grandparents, them say, we're stubborn And we must keep that stubbornness. You understand? Stand for right. No matter what the cost is. So them don't like that with us. So they've been always working. Yeah, understand? To change us. So we find 1 and 2. They will equip those 1 and 2 to cause friction among the rest of us. And the friction that they will cause is to show that they are living better than us. Which now Marjorie, who's the girl that me want married and everything, Marjorie now is attracted to them. Not because she wants to, it's because perhaps her parents them see some light over that side. See? And sometime the man, if him have a plan, and you know what I mean, can back up the idea him have, the plan, him run away with him get Marjorie and him run away. But if it's runway just up the road, that not runway. See? And many of our parents them had to do things like that. You see? Runway, no. Man just say, "Cha, right? Your father go on somewhere, no. Me not work with that, you know." You understand? And her mother I help pack some things. See? And save some money. And runway. Gone to the next island or something so. You understand? Runway. You see? And then she said, "May God be with you. And stay ambitious." You understand? Stay ambitious. Go learn something. Yeah. Some years later, we turn up back. And the grandfather, your father don't want to pay attention to you. And your mother turn around and say, "You see how he make life for himself? You shame, you shame. Huh? You shame, you shame." And then you said, "Daddy, meet your granddaughter." "Who granddaughter?" And make a whole heap of noise like that. And I'm happy, you know. I'm really happy. But him just don't want to be. He don't want anyone to see it, you understand? Sometimes tears run down. And them type of life we have to live with all this racial brutality and racism. We never come England and know these rubbish. Some of us experience it on the plantation. The people them that we live close to, and some of our parents that work on them vast plantation. You see? But when we come here now, we hear things like gollywog, chimpanzee, monkey, bastard, and all these things. And that's something that we don't know. That's something that we get for here. We don't even know what the hell they mean. Take us some time to understand that the people that disrespect we. You see? So, them thing there, so nobody mustn't tell we say that we have a chip and we use reverse psychology because we are also racist. Back way with that. Tell the Askanaki that. Tell them say that them not Jew. You understand? Tell them say my foreparents. You understand? My ancestry lineage are the line of Judah. Tell them the imposters. Tell them that they should not ride my back to make themselves a distinguishable people off my back. Tell them that. You understand? But don't bother tell me that. Don't tell our people that. And the people them who want to live another life, tell them leave us alone too. You understand? Them come hijack race relation. And why is them hijack that? And we not mind we own business? Our parents them who prop up this NHS here. Never get them silver ring, never get them gold ring, never get them superannuation, never get their Ross pension. You understand? And then this government come with the other lady that was there and pretend say something, want no make injury worse and disregard us, and then turn around and say that paper lost, this, that, and that. When they were deporting people, we need to understand how long they were deporting people. It have nothing to do with no yardie. They were just deporting people because they don't want to pay my mother, my father, my uncle, my aunties, them right reserve money. And the money that you beg the country for. And money that they work for. And them only come here and do that because they were invited here and they were selected to come here. You think some people them just get off of them ass and say, yeah, we will go up and represent the mother country. No, we were selected. All across the Caribbean, selected. The best of our people were selected, God damn it, to come here and prop up institutions and still do all the manual work and labor work and everything to help bring this goddamn place back up from the infighting that them had among themselves. And yet still you turn around and call we black bastard. Wag score home. Ray. When we score a goal for you and everything, right? The minute the goal done finish and everything, you gollywag, go home. Yeah? You understand? America but the same. But them always behave say that them can deal with it. Deal with what? How can you deal with something where people are stand up and watch you being roasted at the stake? And over here, them are roast people at the stake for religious persecution. Over there, them are roast we and having fun, picnic, barbecue. What? You want to tell me to the 21st century that we're making that shit up? That's the level of hatred and racism that we've endured. So to stand up right now in the 21st century and see somebody kill a black man. And then there's another one where the man slam dunk, the body slam the woman. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Them literatures where the people them say that we're less than human beings and we're not human beings and they're from God and we're not, we're derived from animal and so forth. Them thing that needs to be removed. Them need to be a worldwide consensus. Listen, all of them thing that needs to be burned up. And that we want to hear that from the highest mountains of the earth, the highest towers of the earth, the smallest sector called the United Nations, full of bullshit. You need to hear those things from there. And you who got your heads stuck in this Arab thing, we need to tell the people them to start talk about us. And stop carrying on with the nonsense. Give us our rightful Jews. Not Jews. Give us our rightful honor and position in this earth. What do you think we Muslims will be doing? We now take singing as the only thing that them can say that Bilal did and make Bilal the only, the pilot and all these things. You know. We now stand for that. And that's why it was important for us to be able to read and read. Because when we can't read, then what we are reading in English ain't telling us anything about our legacy. So it is all wrapped up in Fusa Arabic and Amharic. Once we are able to do that, then we say, woo, now we can see something. You understand? But we never went there saying that we have a problem this side of our life. No. Because if that be the case, then there's something wrong with us. No, we never went there with a problem. We just know that since we start reading, we start feeling very confident in our deen of called Al-Islam. And then we start seeing ourselves big time. And we say, whoa, alhamdulillah. You understand? And we love that. Because now we have a true vision of our place on this earth also. Not just Kemet, a true vision that God has never ever forsaken us. Never. Never. And not that we've done all these pretty things either. We have done some vile things and we are being punished for them. But we came right back. We've came right back. And if you just know some of what we're getting to know and some of what we have known, we have learnt, you just turn around and say to yourself, you know what? Mentally, I've just got to remove myself from that. And that we need to do. We need to systematically, mentally remove ourselves from Caucasian callousness and involvement. We just have to do that. We have to have a different training for our children and train ourselves so our children can feel that. Our home is supposed to construct a certain way. Everybody else's culture represents those things. We're the only one that's subdued to some European theological practices, their morality. We follow them in every goddamn aspects of life. So when we get kicking our ass, we start cry tough. And we're only crying because we've lost for causes. We don't know what to do. The very people that we honor so much is now turn around and shit upon us. That's what hurts more, isn't it? You see? I'm not saying that justifies anything, but it only traumatizes us because we don't have no other place to go, because we're stuck like that, right? So we who say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, we're not stuck like that. Neither are we, not all of us, but neither are we divorcing ourselves from the issues, the real syndromes and the hardship that we do face. You understand? But make them try that to Muslims, African Muslims. I tell you. I mean, I talk Farrakhan now. Make them try that to us. You understand? Not saying they can't kill 1, 2, or 3, or 10. But be telling you, it won't be saying revenge. It be size for size, equality for equality, number for number. We can't say that right because it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we fear. We're not fear man. And the only reason we can say that so tough is that we stay on the right side of things. Regardless of all these people that want to portray we and call we terrorists, we stay on the right side. La ilaha illallah is right side. You understand? Allah teaches us, I've taught Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to teach us how to conduct ourselves. Not how to defend like they want to try show we, no, but him show we that too. But how to conduct ourselves. For Allah's sake. You understand? For Allah's sake. You see? So you can't be wrong and want right. But you can do right and someone do you wrong. So don't think me is a poop. Right? You understand? But since we put our trust and virtue and honor in Allah, then we stand tall. Because my brothers and my sisters in Al-Islam will be there. You see? But if me is a charlatan and I'll be by myself. You understand? I'll be by myself. So you don't like Orthodox Islam? Stay with your other thing and keep making noise. You see? That's the challenge, man. Stay with that and keep making noise and keep witnessing and keep burying. Not that I'm not going to die, but I'm not going to die a despicable, blasted way. No man is going to put them on and take me out and still live. It's not going to be possible. Not now, not ever. You see? Yeah, they can kill me, but them not going to live any 2 long seconds after that. You know, see it? This is Al-Islam we are chat about, you know. It's not brutality. This is not an army. Because them just know, say, Sally, nah, deal with what them people are say. See it? So, like for like. You understand? Simple. If my family decide that them going to run for cover, to hell with that. Them can run for cover. But my ummah to Al-Islam will not run for cover. Will not run for cover. And we're not part of no shit-ass organization called Al-Qaeda, this, that, and ISIS or HASIS. Any shit. You understand? We're just part of the Ummah called Al-Islam. You see? So if me I represent wrong, then that's where me doom. See? Me doom not by my brothers and sisters. Me doom by Allah. You see? But once me I do right, me not doom at all. Not just me, all of us. All of us. Now that bit them don't like. They don't like that we're unified. Them love to think so that them can create skirmishes. So I ask you now, where is the G7 that created all this race problem and beat up Iran and Afghanistan and all these places, put them back all 50 odd years in the scheme of life? You understand? Where are these people? Eh? They don't come together and say, listen, we have a problem. No. What they did, Britain shout out, or Russia dropped some dangerous chemical and nearly take 3 lives out. And that run a course, and Russia was meant to be the beating stick, while Nehru was running over to see little Kim. When name the King Young Chong. You understand? And all these things was happening. All these things were happening. And then something else happened. A drone went and killed an Iranian man. Now trying to start another a war fiction to expand the Ashkenazis in the Middle East. Because once them get for flex and show that them have some weapons that they've been sitting there with for such a long time, then they will dominate the whole Ras region. And that due to happen. Soon. I tell you, that due to happen. You see? Yeah. So, black people, our people, we need to start working with ourselves and stop participating in things that not concern we. You see? I tell you, that's what we need to do. Not we're going to continue to witness these tragedies. And then the court cases will show that the police done what they needed to do. They felt threatened. The person had this, that, another, and so forth. There's one that you see, the police draw him gun, shoot the man to right it, and then behave like the man did something. Then take the man on and handcuff him. They make calls and everything. That they upon YouTube and Facebook and everything. Terrible. Terrible. Right? And the way the man move him, he must be dead. Because 2 shots. I heard 2 shots. It could have been 3, but I heard 2. With my ears, I heard 2. I rerun the thing for look at it. I turn it off because it hurt me. It's just like, wow. Is that what you do? You understand? A dog that behaving like he got rabies or something, they don't do that. They don't do that. Them run behind them car, this, that, and the other, make phone calls and everything, and then people that deal with dog and people have tranquilizers, you know, come. And if them can find a dog in the same district, them tranquilize it. Human beings, right, especially black people, they don't shoot you in your foot. You understand? And every person that use a gun, them have to go on the range, and they're taught how to use that piece of equipment. And they're allowed to have it because they know say that they're proficient in discharging it. And they have choices. They have choices. In discharging it, they have choices. A choice to bring the person down, meaning wounding the person, or to take the person out, which means killing the person. Shot to the heart or to the head. Work it out for yourselves. It hurts.
Yes, they talk about democracy, talking all about equality. They talk about integrity, talking all about morality. Yet they're all in iniquity to further their own vanity, and therefore can only bring sorrow eventually. My brothers talking about words in cheap clothing, they talk about their honesty, talking all about their purity, but their words are like the wind that blows. One never really knows all the germ it sows, and therefore can only bring sorrow eventually. My brother talking about words in cheap clothing,
They talk about their honesty. Talking all about their purity. They talk about integrity. La 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 la.
To understand, faith without works is dead. You know what that means? You can't expect what you believing for without doing your part. You gotta work that thing, honey.
Dark brown shades of my skin only add color to
Ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You gotta do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that. So you got to ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that. So you can do what you supposed to do and excel in. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you.
the dark brown shades of my skin only add color to my tears. Oh, that splash against my hollow bones that rocks my soul. Looking back over my false dreams that I once knew, wondering why my dreams never came true. Is it because I'm black? Somebody tell me, what can I do? Oh Lord, oh, something is holding me back. Is it because I'm black? Yeah. In this world of no pity, I was raised in the ghettos of the city. Yeah, oh Lord. Mama, she worked so hard to earn every penny. Yeah. Oh Lord. Something is holding me back. Is it because I'm black? Like a child stealing his first piece of candy and got caught peeping around life's corner somewhere. I got lost. something is holding me back. I wonder, is it because I'm black? Oh, somebody tell me, what can I do? Will I survive or will I die? Oh, you keep on holding me back. Keep on holding on. Keep on picking on me. Oh, keep on holding me back. Keep on holding on. Keep on holding on. You're holding me back. I wonder why you do me like that. But you keep on holding me back. Keep on putting your foot on me. But I've got to break away somehow and someday. 'Cause I want to be somebody so bad, so bad. I want to be somebody. I want to be somebody so bad. You see, I want diamond rings and things like you do. And I want to drive Cadillac cars. Oh, I want to be somebody so bad. But you keep on putting your foot on me. And I believe I can break away and be somebody somehow in some way. You see, I heard somebody say one time, you can make it if you try. Oh, and some of us, we're trying so hard. We're trying so hard. I want you to know that I don't speak for myself, but I speak for y'all too right now. You see, if you're half white, light brown skin, and a high yellow, you're still black. So we all got to stick together right now. This I want to say to you, my sisters and my brothers. Right on, sister. Right on, brother. Dig this. If we keep on pushing, y'all, oh, we got to make it a little bit further. We got to make it a little further. All we got to do is try. And some of us, we're trying so hard. We're trying so hard. We're trying so hard. We're trying so hard to be somebody. We're trying so hard. Although they're holding us back. And that's the reason that they're doing us like that. You know what? It is. I believe it's because we're black. But hey, we can't stop now. We can't stop now. We got to keep on keeping on. We got to keep on keeping on. I know that you know that I know it ain't right. Oh, it ain't right. It ain't right. It ain't right. That they hold us back. They're holding us back. They're holding us back. I wonder. Sometimes I sit down, and I wonder. I sit down and I think about it.
You got to ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that, so you can do what you supposed to do and excel in it. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you. What you waiting on? Do your part.
Birds at his quiet name. Foxes in the hole. Man at his peaceful reign.
Oh, I saw you on labor.
Go ahead, wait. Hey, you over there. You. Yeah, you're my selector. More music and less talk.
The coolest station online.
Yeah, that's us.
'Cause we play
This.
Birds at his quiet name. Foxes in the hole. Man at his peaceful reign. He have nowhere to lie. Yes, he pray. Yes, he pray. Pray. Yes, he pray. Yes, he pray. For I and you, for I and you, he pray. Yes, he pray. Yes, he pray. Pray. Yes, he pray. Yes, he pray. He prayed for I and you, until his sweat and blood. Of course, yes, he prayed. Yes, he Yes, he prayed. Yes, he prayed. Birds on his quiet foxes in the hole. Man at his peaceful rain. He have nowhere to lie his head.
You got to ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that. so you can do what you supposed to do and excel in it. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you. What you waiting on? Do your part. God.
Every nation saying that they are the first. Every nation saying that they are the first. I wonder why. All I
You got to ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that, so you can do what you supposed to do and excel in it. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you. What you waiting on? Do your part. God.
Every nation saying that they are the first. Every nation saying that they are the first. I wonder why. All I know, as earth was strong, black people was strong. That's why I got to say, yeah, 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 yo. Ayo
yeah. Yeah. Question to my African children at home and abroad. Lord, oh, them my African children. Lord, where is the culture we have known? Seems like it long gone, way above the clouds. And what about the sacrifice? Yeah. Question to my African children at home and abroad. Lord, oh, them my African children. Lord, where is the culture we have known? Seems like it long gone, way above the clouds. And what about the sacrifice we've made? We forget about our love and them are also to be paid. Where is the culture we have known? African bandits, come bring a shakedown. And what about the sacrifice we've made? See, we're going to a base. Let's call on today. Don't watch them talk, some them out. Sweet talking will fool you. Their only intentions in life to divide and rule you. Lord, they take their seats at the head of the table, not allowing the crumbs to fall to the floor. And even when they're wealthy and able, nothing they give to the poor. Them youth and I go take up gun, cause them no really want we have no fun. They wanna see us in a jealous mood, cause them no really want we have no food. So where is the culture we have known? Seems like it long gone, way above the clouds. And what about the sacrifice we've made? Some forget about the past and also to be paid. Judge and never leave us bleeding. For the wicked there's a sure reward. Check everything and everything that you believe in. And remember, say karma not far. In every detail, you better know who you are. Stand strong in yourself, don't you be a criminal. Every get I represent is Africa, me stand far. The future is that I name to the stars. Where is the culture we have known? Seems like it long gone, way above the clouds. And what about the sacrifice we've made? Some forget about the past and also to be paid. Where is the culture we have known? All these African bandits come bring a shakedown. And what about the sacrifice we've made? Some forget about the past and also to be paid. Don't be foolish, all is based on love. If everything of vanity, man should respect soul. The bad vibes and envy, please leave that alone.
No handbag, Rastafari don't set the standard. You can't bully me down cause I won't change. I exercise tolerance amongst all individual. Unless you prove yourself to be a criminal, I couldn't fight you down, I got to
Scene, and that may I say. So you misunderstand me, you better don't do that. Understand yourself. Right, racism, the belief of racial superiority among a set of people, right, which happen to be Caucasian race of people. How it started, we don't know. You understand? So let us say it started after them coming to Africa. They were invited in, they were transported in, they were navigated there. Could you imagine? Right? And something happened, right? Something happened. You see? And the thing that happened is people who read them scripture realize that we told a story of Cain and Abel. And Cain was disgruntled with him brother. You see? So how me I go link that to the theological and theological practitioners? See? Is that the Caucasian is not contented with himself. So them look for faults and failures and everything within us, other than looking like them, see? And we carry the blunt of the whole thing, right? You understand? So, what has been done about it? What has been done about it? That's why when you read Islamic theology, what we will call Islamic theology, or if you read Islam as in reading the Quran, you see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has deciphered for us human beings on this earth. See? But anyway, these people believe say that them have some higher quality and ability, right, than us Africans. And you see that word, their quality and ability, that's what they've been demonstrating. And our elders here, throughout them years and years, have missed the mark and didn't educate us that way. Because if you see what they did to us in the 20s and them thing, they're putting us in these spaces where people them come, tour guides and everything come, for watch we, laugh on we, throw things at we and all kind of thing. First it was women, then it was a group, men and women. You understand? And then them start take we around into the circus too. And in the circus we was in a cage. You understand? In the public place we was in a cage also. You understand? It was more roomier, but it's in a cage also. So that image of saying that we were animals, when you put us in cage and then just leave us to sit down and move around as a normal human being would and they would, right? What the depiction was to those who came and saw us, which was lots of people, thousands, right, of peoples per day, you understand? Across Europe and England being one of the primary places and America, yeah? What was that showing? They were showing that we had some kind of animalistic type of attitude, right? So the people them who organized the thing couldn't take the chance, right, to let these people them sit down like normal persons, even though we were sitting. But sometime, through something prodding us and everything, we were supposed to get up. Huh? And as time went by, we were given some roles to perform, right? So people them see us a certain way in a cage and so forth. And this thing has manifested throughout institutions for years and years and years and years. You understand? Years and years and years. That's how they depicted and they portrayed and projected. And some of the leading institutions of learning, colleges, etc., and some of the leading science, research bodies, and some of the top thinkers and others were bought from all across the Caucasian world with other people to demonize and look at us in this despicable projection. Not that we were looking, the way them display we, because them put we in a cage. In a cage. You understand? Now, once, to me and our grandparents, once that image, those images were removed, are removed, once that depiction, the references to that has been dispelled of, once all of those so-called artifacts and historical references and everything that are used in medical fraternities and institutions and everything have been disbarred and burnt and this being rid of, become ashes to ashes and dust to dust. We're not going anywhere, because this is what's being taught. This is what's being taught still, and it's available. It's being taught and it's available to the Aryan race, we call it that, to the Caucasian race. See? So every now and again, them get a little sneak, right? And something happens. You understand? they're a bit tired of us now running, doing a 360, and don't put the ball in the ring. They're tired of the fact that tennis was, one of their luxury, superior pastime, and then all of a sudden, 3 black people them come and they say, what the hell? And then out of the blue, 2 dominated the world of the game. Then golf came, right? And all of a sudden, a black, you know what I mean? Black parent, white parent. Yeah? Why some people were smiling, they were the ones that made the money. Others were brewing, they never like it. You can see that. When we play basketball and we do the 360, 180, slam dunk, rear, deny gravity for X seconds and so forth, they're having thrills because they do have a release. But at the same time, it's a commercial thing, it's a business, and it is mammon, it's financially prudent to those who own the thing. So what are they actually saying they're portraying? They see some trained animals, you see? And we're enjoying ourselves playing the sport, whilst they deem us just to be animals, see? And whether some of them project it, proclaim it, and be honest about it, is that we're creating financial benefit and a release for them. It's not for us, it's for them. The majority, a very high volume percentage of African Americans cannot afford to go watch a basketball game, let alone a baseball game. And there are places that they are not accepted. You understand? Especially on the baseball tour. See? So, and even basketball, you see? So you can go to some auditoriums and it's 90-something% Caucasian. Europeans from all places. You know? Unlike what they want to try to show you in a church. Okay? So, these are the things that needs to happen. So they're working with that them have a high quality and ability, and we have not. So we've been fooling ourselves, pushing ourselves up in a day of fears and everything. So them just see we, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say that Caucasians see us this way. Caucasians said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this life is not for play and amusement. But some of us take it as play and amusement. You see? So the Caucasian them see we as less than human, animalistic, and them just claim and project and encourage play and amusement for us. See? And then after that, we're supposed to just go back into a little shell. You see? So come out and run for us, perform for us and everything. And all is well. You understand? Don't try to push yourself up in anything with us. That's what the thing is. And what we've been doing, the children of the slave, is trying to prove them wrong, and so forth, and wasting our time and the lives of those behind or even within that space that we're trying to project ourselves as something. See? Because it fails. It doesn't have no longevity. It fails. So if there's 10 people and only 2 prize through something, what success is that? And all 10 of us attended all high levels of education along with the same other people and others. The problem is we're not accepted. The problem is we're not accepted. And we want to be accepted. So it is not in our hands. We don't have the spiritual power, and we're not God to turn around and make another set of people accept us and love us and treat us with pride and dignity. We don't have that motivational power. We don't. So we need to spend our time with ourselves. Learn to trust, love ourselves sincerely. That's what we need to do. So we can represent ourselves and deny evil from infiltrating us and misusing and mistreating us and killing and murdering us. That's why it's easy for us to take a camera and just, even though that evidence is good, but did we lend a hand? See, in Islam, if you can't through verbal conversation with someone that is doing something wrong, then the third option is to use one's hand and not to violate the person, just to show them your manhoodness. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if that doesn't work, leave them and pray. And that's for your brother. You understand? So all you who believe, you understand? So you expect some reaction from the first, which is Yani, and draw the attention to say that this action, this behavior is not right. So someone outside of our community, our involvement and everything, we use the same hikmah to get their attention. To get their attention, because a kind word is what is to be used here. But once that kind word doesn't work, and then it resorts to that we have to draw them attention to us from what they're doing, then we're meant to be brazen, firm. Let our manhood be visible, be understood. And we have more deflecting reasons why we should not be representing ourselves than why we should not do anything. And people choose not to do anything. We have a choice. But don't cry after. So the speed that is going around the world in this pandemic situation, conditions that we're in, and people are showing how alarmed and hurt they are by such a thing, shows that, well, we know people care. But something like that should have blown up in several millions long time, but it hasn't. And the numbers that's required for it to go to the Senate or wherever, in America alone, that should have blown up long time. And when it come out to America, it blow up big time. And when it go to the continent of Africa, it's just blown up. Facebook, every media thing that counts, it blow it up. But it hasn't. It hasn't. TD Jake, that's already 1 million. Cliff O'Dollar, that's already 1 million. You understand? So that just shows you that we're not together. And our eyes are open and our soul do feel something. But we're not together. We have different masters. We have different things that we adjacent ourselves, we align to ourselves to. And only when something comes to our doorstep that we become normalized in our principles and our ethics and our culture. That's sad. But it's been going on like this for many years. A person who's a Muslim that live in Bangladesh and this and that, right? They've adopted this particular way of conducting their affairs. That's all good. Indonesia, Malaysia, that's all good. And in Africa, that's all good. Huh? And most of these people, them have a culture, all of them. But the Africans don't see us as children of the slaves. They don't see us. They don't participate in recognizing the history, the legacy of us outside of the continent. And they don't recognize the syndromes. They don't recognize that we're living in casualty. We're casualties. They don't see that. A lot of them just think that we're violent, arrogant and hostile and everything. They don't see that we're their children. And we evolve out of the ones that were captured. And all we know that we are portraying is what the man let us know. And then how he's been treating us for years. And now that has an impact on how we actually deal with ourselves also. But they don't see that. They don't see that. They don't recognize that we cry. They don't recognize that. They don't recognize that we suffer. They don't recognize that our soul is not at peace. They don't. If they did, they realize that when someone start coming talk about God and everything, we don't know which God, but them talk about God and everything. Them things they satisfy our souls, and we just resonate to them because it makes us feel comfortable. And all the bad things and all the harsh things that's going on, it removes it. But guess what? An hour and a half later, we're back into the reality. And we can't go to those same people that just satisfy our souls for the last 2 hours or 3 and say to them, listen, this is what happens to us. We're being victims of racial brutalization, hostility. But brother such and such, you look and said, no, I look that way because I'm coming to the service. But my life is scarred. So I don't think you're going to see me again. Because the reality that I have to live with and what you're doing for me is artificial. It's artificial. Because I have to go back to my reality. See? So this is what has happened to us. You know, the hostility and the crimes that's been inflicted against us over and over and over again. And there's no institutions that deals with our situation. And then inadvertently they turn around and tell us that you're complaining about an incident not knowing the real gravity of the situation. But you do kill yourselves. And I'm saying, but you do kill millions of others. And if you're saying, I kill myself, it is you who teach me to kill myself, to kill, not to kill myself. It's you who teach me to kill. You've taught me to kill. Assess and evaluate me. And you cage me. You branded me. You humiliated me. You raped my mother. You abused my father. You took his manhood away from him. You took the essence out of my mother's womb. You defame me. Now you're abusing me whenever you find it necessary. Reflect. That's what part of my theme is. Reflect. Stop fooling yourselves. And don't say to me that I hate. If you think I hate, you taught me to be a hater. If you say I kill, you taught me to kill. If you call me a murderer, you trained me to be a murderer. I love who I was and what I am, but you told me I'm a nigger. You called me a black bastard. I smiled with you. I didn't know what you meant. You defame me. Then you glorify me in the summertime when I'm running for you. When I play cricket amongst you. When I do all these sporting things, you get a thrill. You artificially make that you like me. I'm still that animal. I'm still that less than a human being that you portrayed. You have never told my grandmother that you are sorry. Furthermore, telling my mother or my father, you haven't done so. How can I trust you when you still hate me, despise me, and then you kill me? You use your very apparatus that is about justice in society, and you abuse me. You murdered me. And it's justifiable. Guidance.
I don't know it, bro. London team.
Talking about some form of medicine. Come from in Africa. Yes, you're talking about the medicine. Yes, you come from in Africa. What me say? To bitter nut, cocoa butter. Yes, it good for your daughter. It have to set up your structure. Set up your heart and your kidney. Yes, it set up in your body. Set up in your mommy. They say it good for your daddy. Holy for energy is I was saying. Not cocoa butter. Well, it gives a lot of energy. Natural born energy. No false kind of energy. Tell you, they bitter nut cocoa butter. Yes, it good for your structure. Well, it good for your daughter. Me say it good for your mother. Hey, bitter nut cocoa butter. Where you come from? Say down in Africa. A bitter nut cocoa butter. Well, it good for your daughter. Me say good for your structure. Set up your structure. Give you a whole heap of energy. Yeah, say better than a Hennessy. What me tell you? Say it good for your kidney. good for your liver. It no make your heart kind of shiver. No make your body kind of quiver. Yes, I did it a cocoa butter. Good for your daughter. That better not cocoa butter. Come set up a structure. With original medicine, I tell you. It's a natural healing. It's a natural believing. In a day not cocoa butter. Hey, it's a not cocoa butter. Make we set up a structure.
Man, call you right. You know what I'm saying? Africa. Guidance, we going, we have to go pray. One day soon. You see? One day soon, you know. But we've been saying that. One my brethren read called me earlier, not too long ago. And him say, what I do is what we learned long time ago and what we've been living. Yeah? So it's good to know, see, you do that. But other people are awake. And me just say, I have to do it because I go dead sometime soon. So, I do something. And him just said, no, man, you're not dead sometime soon. You see, because you don't know what soon is. So that's why I say sometime soon. You understand? But what my brethren, I really say is this, you know. I hope saying I just do this thing and it's deaf ears today, because we stubborn. One day soon. Man call Prince Buster, man call Dennis Emmanuel Brown Production, I tell you, one day soon. Prince Buster Production, Dennis Brown Vocal, listen.
One day soon, we'll be together.
One day soon. Yo, mommy!
Sharing our love all alone.
One day soon.
One day soon.
Cho-cho.
I'll make you love me, baby.
So yesterday my father hurt strong. Daddy, listen. Yes, man.
Look how we're living in this world.
See?
Look how we live in this world. So we need more civilization and better organization to fight victimization in this world. All the nations, all the nations, all.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You gotta do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that, so you can do what you supposed to do and excel in it. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you. What you waiting on? Do your part.
Guidance. God willing, tomorrow. Cultural expression.
Look how we're living.
Dance all on the road. I tell you.
Look how we live in this world. So we need more civilization and better organization to fight victimization
We are come out to Wood Green tomorrow. Hardcore. Wood Green. Place called Bluesville tomorrow. Hardcore. Trust me. Cultural expression. First time in a Bluesville in what, 30-something years. Listen. Tell your friends. Best Bluesville tomorrow night. Outer door.
We fight against each other in this world.
Social distancing.
And better organization.
Place called Wood Green, Bluesville. Cultural expression tomorrow, God willing. In a rubber dub style. Yo, daddy. What happened? You leave mommy? Easy, man. Earth strong.
Look how we're living in this world. Look how we live in this world. Say we need more civilization and better organization to fight victimization in this world. All the nation, all the nation, all the nation. Say we need more civilization to fight
Guidance, this is still for daddy, you know. So we gone now, cause prayer time and leave me. Yes, daddy. He was a rebel.
I'm a rebel, soul rebel.
You got enough works to do.
I'm a capturer,
And you was a soul adventurer.
soul adventurer.
And when you rebel,
See the morning sun
I tell you,
on the hillside.
mommy,
Bright is the light.
what you gonna do?
Purple light. Said I'm a living man.
And you have enough works to do.
I've got work to do.
Along the way,
If you're not happy, children, then
but you did have me, so what happened?
Instead of fussing and fighting, why not just get together and live in one love and one unity, you know? Rebel in the morning, rebel in the evening too. Now don't you be like a devil when I play with songs called a rebel, rebel, rebel. Now you mean, you know?
Soul adventurer.
Man says a great adventurer. You can hear what I say, let there be love. See the morning sun on the hillside. Nothing in this world they could I never do. Never to stop, not to dread from living up, y'all. Said I'm a living man and I got a lot of work to do. Said I'm a living man. Music gotta come on over, rock it with me now. It's down to say you gotta come on over and rock it on round there. It's best not a sound of capture rock, you know. So make it an adventure here, dear, and everywhere you can hear me when I say so. Ronnie Murray down there. Yeah, so you're gonna rock it on over. Means that I gotta get stepping, you know. Got to be on the move, so baby, baby. See, rebel style, a runaway child, I beg you stop the running wild. From stop Nazi dread, from stepping up higher and higher, step my chili zing zing. Drop, damn you! coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Want to be free.
Now we come to the payoff. Now we come to the payoff.
This one coming straight from out of the dancer. This one coming straight from out of the dancer.